Hi everybody. Good morning to yoga for older rebels, and I'm hopefully getting this a little better with the filming. I'm playing around with it every day. If you can't get down onto the floor, you want to sit on a chair right now, some of what we could do, you could just do standing and leaning into a couch, or standing upright and kind of just putting your foot up on the arm of the chair to do what we're going to do. I'm sorry this won't really work for everybody. I kind of feel like there's a lot of people more desiring to get down on the floor, but maybe just do the pose very slowly and only a few poses. So hopefully I'll meet your needs. If not, you can let me know. So sometimes I like to just open the book and just read a statement out of the book, and any book, and I just did a point and push here with my finger to get a little quote. If you're no longer identified with the body needing its freedoms, or the emotions needing their freedoms, or the mind needing its freedoms, then you realize absolute everlasting freedom. That's really beautiful. If you're no longer identified with the body needing its freedoms, obviously, as you get older, you have to learn not to identify with your body, or what it can and can't do, or whether we're sick or not, or not identify with our emotions needing their freedoms, all the stories and dramas and ways we suffer, or the mind needing its freedom, which can run us around infinitely in different scenarios and confusions. When you don't need any of those things, you can realize absolute everlasting freedom. So to me, everlasting freedom is inside of the deep part of us, and we can access it through going inward, not from going outward, because the outside world is constantly changing. But inside of us, there is an absolute consciousness which is quiet and still and connected with the divine, which is in everything. And that is very permanent and dependable, complete. It's always there. It's never not there. There's never a moment you can't connect to that. And yoga is just one tool for learning how to get there through relaxing through your body to get there. So I think we'll start here with a little stretch where we'll just come onto our hands and knees. And if you're working at a chair, just kind of use a way to kind of work on this with the chair. And now I'm just going to roll through my spine. I'll arch my spine and then I'll round my spine. And we'll do that a few times, just warming up. Let your head drop and your tailbone drop at the same time. And keep your hands shoulder width apart. And then lifting your chin. Good, just close your eyes and release into it. Drop the tailbone, slowly rounding the tailbone under. Let your head go down. Press through the shoulder blades. Coming up. Lifting the chin. Good. And releasing down again. Leaning back a little bit into child's pose. We'll stretch over the top of the knees, the quads. Stretch a little bit. Your feet. Tops of the feet. Good, coming back up, turn your toes under and just kind of roll through your feet. And if you're just sitting in a chair, just roll through your feet or massage your feet. See if you can turn all of your toes under as you do that. Good, we're going to take our left foot forward, and I don't care how far down you go, so maybe you're down just a little ways, my foot's out to the side, or maybe you can slide down a little farther and stretch through the hip some. It doesn't matter where you're at. You could take a pillow if you wanted, and you could bring the pillow around and you could lay on a pillow if that feels better. You could do this standing with your knee up on the side of the couch, but just be careful. If you've had some surgeries or something, warm up your joint the way your physical therapist would have suggested, and don't do any radical bends like this, anything that hurts. Just breathe into it. There's something about stretching the hips. There's a word called psoas, and it means soul. And so the hips are the seat of the soul of the body. And when they're open and soft and relaxed, it's easier for us to be in that state. And then I'm going to come out very slowly. You can just kind of gently bring your knee forward, gently slide your knees together again. And let's just make some circles here with our spine. Just go around a little circle. And let your neck go, let your head go. Rock back again in child's pose. Not necessarily going all the way back and not necessarily sitting back and upright. If you do try to sit up, be sure you round your tailbone under and you just work wherever you're at. You can sit on bolsters. Bring stuff with you when you do yoga to help it make it easier. We're going to reach our hands forward again, shoulder width apart. Good. So now I'm going to swing my other leg forward. Getting it forward, you could come up a little bit and then swing. It's one way to do it. And then slide that knee back. So my back knee here, I'm focusing on turning to the outside of the back knee and not necessarily going all the way down into the pose. I could have a blanket, bolster here. I could, stay up a little higher. Or if you are feeling comfortable, you could go down farther and lean into it. Okay, so feel your lower back and think of your hips being even as we do this. So I want to be right over the center of this pose, not really leaning one way or the other. I still want to feel like the tailbone is under and the extension of the spine is coming by separating my spine away at the waist. Some poses like the forward bend we did yesterday aren't really intended to stretch your legs. They are a spine stretch. So a pose like this, however, really is intended more to stretch through the hips and the hip flexor. And just breathe into it and truly, really only go down to where the stretch actually feels kind of pleasurable to you, not ever painful. All right, so we're going to slowly come out. And, normally I would do a downward facing dog, but I don't think we're going to do that today. We'll save that for another day, but you can take your pillow back and just sit. And, sit comfortably. So maybe we'll sit with our feet out. Or if you want to sit in half lotus, sit in half lotus. All right, so let's just practice for a moment the yoga of a meditation, where we're going to practice emptying out and being in a place of more absolute freedom. I like to imagine that I'm just hanging my thoughts on a hook, like I would a coat. And for 10 seconds after you do that, just see if you can have no thought at all. Well, I'll do the counting. You don't have to do anything but close your eyes and for 10 seconds not think. Just be empty. Starting now. And coming back. So what happens when you do that is you immediately drop into a theta wave state that's really deeper than REM sleep. And if you were here and I could see you, your eyes probably look very soft. And you noticed it wasn't hard to do at all. It was very easy. So what I am suggesting is not really meditation, where you spend an hour or 20 minutes even meditating. I'm just suggesting emptying your mind by going directly to that emptiness and noticing immediately that you become the observer. You immediately connect to consciousness. It's just within you very naturally. We could call it isness inside of you because it exists everywhere and you're just a part of it. So you don't have to know any yoga poses or mantras or have any kind of practice of any kind to go there, since it's so natural, because it's just a part of who you are in your true being. Deep inside of you, it's who you are also. So we'll go there again together for just, 10 or 20 seconds. Just close your eyes and allow yourself to just be empty. And gently coming back, but not really. You can just hear my voice and stay in that same place. So notice that in this emptiness, we don't have expectations, we don't have the past and fear of the future, we don't have a story about who we are. It's just emptiness. And we have freedom, true freedom. When the more you're in a state that's empty like that, the more you can be your natural self without defending yourself constantly with your ego. So if I'm really funny and I'm in that empty state, I'm just funnier. Or maybe I'm more musical or productive, or maybe I'm just more quiet. You become what you naturally are, so it's the best kind of freedom, because nothing is stopping you from your true nature. So that's my message for today on this very first day of spring. Om Tara Tu Tara Sohe Tara. Through the mercy and compassion of the Mother, I see the lotus in you. Om Mani Padme Om. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you. Love you all. I'll see you tomorrow.